Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Kicking It with Tim and the Mechanic. I'm Tim, joined as always by the mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. A lot of stuff happened this weekend. I'm eager to talk about it.
Let's start right at the big story. We got tons to talk about. We will be talking about Glory. We got 2-1 championship shows. We got an Enfusion show. But let's not bury the lead any more than we need to. Have you seen Black Panther yet? It was really good. No kidding. Alistair Overeem has tested positive for a banned substance. That's the story as we know right now, is a sample tested positive for something banned, not necessarily a PED. This was in his Badahari fight at Glory Collision 4. Not necessarily a PED, but we don't entirely know what it is. They are now testing the B sample, and we'll get updates probably later in the week. Mr. Cuttino, what are your thoughts? What are we feeling?
I mean, we all knew kind of this was something that maybe was always kind of lingering in the back. Hey, Alistair Overeem, horse meat, all that stuff, but, you always want to be optimistic. Like I said, it's been some time. We didn't hear anything. And then, boom, next Glory 82 happens. And then, it drops and you're just like, oh, boy. But, hey, like they said, they said, hey, let's see what happens on the B sample. And also, too, they're trying to say that, oh, it's not a performance enhancing drug. It's just a banned substance. So who really knows what that means?
Well, yeah, so that's the thing of, like, in the past, we've seen a lot of sports athletes get caught for banned substances. In fact, a lot of sports athletes don't get caught for PEDs or steroids. They usually get caught for, like, things like estrogen blockers or diuretics, stuff that shouldn't be in your system. It's usually the cover-up of the steroids that people are getting busted for. Like, for example, weirdly enough, Brock Lesnar never got caught for steroids. It was always estrogen blockers and stuff like that. So, again, It might not be, it's a banned substance, it's not a PED, is still saying, like, yeah, you... that's kind of, I don't know. That's not a big deal. I don't think it's marijuana is what we're getting at. It was almost certainly something.
Exactly. So, I mean, maybe that's why, going into, like, saying what we're going to talk about, like, maybe that's why they, I want to say our guy at Veg Sports, kind of dropped that whole thing about maybe Plazibat and Rico in March, and maybe this is why they were going with that, is because maybe they know Alistair Overeem is now out.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So they were scheduled for March of 2023, Alistair Overeem and Rico Verhoeven. Out of nowhere, Rico Verhoeven has never acknowledged the existence of Antonio Plazibat. He pretends he doesn't exist. And then out of nowhere, he's commenting on Instagram of, like, I'm right here. I'm ready for Antonio Plazibat. Just this past weekend, Antonio Plazibat won a first round, minute and a half is all he needed to knock out Raul Catinez, and then called him out, said, where's Rico? Now, because of the PED issues, we have the real contender stepping in. We have Antonio Plazibat likely stepping in. Things are always moving. Things are always changing. So, that's as we know it right now. But let's talk about the fight a little bit. Antonio Plazibat got the first round knockout. What did you think? What did you see? What did you like?
So, one, Antonio Plazibat, man of his word, just said, hey, I only need one round. And that's all it was. It was one round. But one thing I did notice was, to me, with Plazibat was, usually when we think of Plazibat, we think about him just going in, guns blazing, trying to knock you out. But to me, here, I felt like he was a little more reserved, a little more patient, because you saw him kind of using his front kicks. Like, to me, I don't remember Antonio Plazibat ever throwing front before. He was all hands. So to me, this says that he is, he's adding more tools. He's becoming a better fighter, a patient fighter, and yeah, man, just worked out for him. And then once he smelled the blood, he went forward. Like I said, man, dude, he's a smart fighter, because when he had Catinez up against the ropes, he had his guard up, his hands were up. But what did Plazibat do? He would use his left hand, pull down the guard, boom, catch with that overhand right, and it was lights out. I mean, it was a murder, but it was a crime scene after that.
It's as violent of a knockout as you can get. Minute and a half. Catinez is not stumbling around. Catinez is done. They didn't need a second 10 count or anything like that. It was so evidently done. Just like you said, it was a picture perfect, exactly technically what you need to do. I don't think people realize, like, Antonio Plazibat might be on a 4-fight consecutive knockout win streak, and he is clearly the top contender, but he has a lifetime in kickboxing. He was a K1 heavyweight Grand Prix champion in, like, 2017, and he's just been winning fights ever since. He drops a fight every 5 fights or so or something like that, but ultimately he's an extremely accomplished fighter. 4-fight knockout win streak right now in Glory. He's clearly the top contender. We've said it since we started the show. Like, Plazibat is the deserved top contender, really. But yeah, maybe now he finally gets his day. Do we actually get this fight? Or does something else happen? Does something else get in the way? And I think Glory would rather have Overeem in there because he's a better name.
Yeah, I mean, of course, to me, Glory wants Overeem. Like I said, as soon as Overeem signed, that was the fight. Anyway, was the Rico Overeem fight. So I mean, they've been trying to do this fight, ever since they signed him. But I mean, if Overeem is going to be banned, if he's going to be suspended, then to me, Plazibat is the only person that they can go with. Like this is the fight that the fans want. The fans have been clamoring for it. Plazibat's been clamoring for it. And now, like I said, now it seems like Rico has finally acknowledged him. So to me, this is the fight to make if Alistair can't go.
Yeah, I completely co-sign. I think Plazibat was always a better fight to make, but I understand this is prize fighting. This is, names really matter in this one. But yeah, I think this. Remember on the show before Glory Collision 4, I said Overeem put his entire fight camp in Thailand.
Yep.
It was evident. Like, it was so evident. He has a history of it, all that stuff. Do you remember when he drove away at the UFC press conference when they were like, all right, drug test time, and then he left?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's how that's how it goes, man.
And you would find a lot of people in this sport who would say, like, PED use is not a bad thing. You'd find people like, I think more like Brandon and I, who are saying like, yeah, we probably should, we're hitting heads here. Like, we probably should. Anyway, let's move forward here. Glory 82 also had a controversial welterweight title fight where Endy Semeleer won the vacant title against Alim Nabiyev. Now, a lot of people were complaining about this one online. Even in studio, people were questioning this one. How did you score it? What do you think of it? Even Endy didn't seem that happy about his win on Instagram after the fight. But how did you score it? What did you see in this one?
So the people already know going into this, I was picking Endy Semeleer. I was team bad news, But watching the fight, I thought he lost the fight. I had Nabiyev basically dominating the fight. I had him winning 4-1. I think the only round I gave Semeleer was the fourth round. That was it. Other than that, to me, I thought Nabiyev controlled the fight, did what he had to do to get the job done. But I mean, even with open scoring, you can see like, wait, what? You can kind of see where it's going. But it was just weird to me because, like sometimes you're looking at some of these rounds and how did Semeleer win them? But that's how it is. Like even in studio, like on the broadcast, like they had Tiffany Van Soos talking about it. She even said how she thought Nabiyev did enough. Even Joseph Valtellini, thought like they all thought Nabiyev won it. But again, hey, we're not judges. That's how it is. Like say there was one judge who did give the fight to Nabiyev. Like they say like same score as me, like 4-1. But it's just that's how it goes. I mean, like say, as you talk about Semeleer not really not seeming happy because even in the fight when they announced it, he had his head down and then he kind of was like, oh, okay, I won. And then that's when he kind of just went up to Nabiyev and was like, hey, give him props. He's a tough guy and stuff like that. And he was just basically trying to say how, like, I think he even knew he wasn't flowing. Like, it wasn't his fight. It wasn't his night. Like, he was off. But, I mean, hey, either two things can happen, which is one to me, just it sets up a rematch. Yeah. Which I think the people want to see. Or I remember I know we've been about Jay Overeem, but I think actually Overeem and Nabiyev, I think I'm not Nabiyev, Overeem and Semeleer maybe fought, I think in Enfusion last year though.
I think Semeleer beat him. That's right too. Semeleer did beat him. Yeah, that's right.
So that's why they might not really want to rush back to that. But then again, that was an Enfusion. This is Glory now. So, new eyes maybe, so they could probably spin it off.
So we'll jump back to the judge's decision here, but it is a little bit tough to judge and a way out wise. I think there's 3 rounds where it's very conclusive. Rounds 2 and 3, I have no doubt were for Nabiyev. Rounds 4, I have no doubt were for Semeleer. And I'll give rounds 1 and 5 as a toss-up. That's clearly where everybody's split. And then I think this is what the judges probably were split on, where I think some of these judges were favoring head strikes a lot more than they were favoring things like body kicks and leg kicks. Because even looking at the numbers, Semeleer was so far ahead on head strikes. It was everything else he was way behind on. And his head strikes were landing well. He would land 2 or 3 head strikes around that would knock Nabiyev's head back. And I think that's what the judges were seeing. But I think in the judging criteria, they're not supposed to favor that. Am I wrong here? Because immediately when I saw those head strikes, I thought, oh, that's probably it. That's probably the key here.
I mean, it goes, because we went over this before with the Tiffany Van Soos fight. I think it goes knockdowns, I think damage, and then spectacular techniques, and then
so not head strikes,
techniques.
not leg attacks. It's it's overall striking is equal.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, because I remember Tiffany Van Soos was kind of trying to I guess save the judges and be like, hey, you know, damage is one of the things that they look at. Oh, look at Nabiyev's face, and you look at Semeleer's face, you can see that Nabiyev has more damage. So maybe the judges were looking at that, and I'm like, all right, I could see it if I squint my eyes, you know, I could see it, but you know, it's still one of those things where it's like, man, you kind of feel bad for Nabiyev. You know, you kind of thought it would have been third time's a charm, but hey, man, that's how it is sometimes in this game, man. It can be rough, it can be brutal.
And in all honesty, if we start talking about like really narrow judges' decisions where we're having to comb through what the rules are, forget about it. I just forget it. Who cares at that point? Honestly, overall, watching the fight as a whole, I think Nabiyev showed that he was a better fighter. But round by round, I could see the argument being made for Semeleer. In a rematch, I would lean Nabiyev. You know, am I wrong here?
Yeah, no, man. I'd be with you. Like I said, man, Nabiyev had a good game plan. I kind of forgot that, man. He trains with the with the same guys, you know, that Coach Rico and Benjamin Adegbuyi. I completely forgot about that, but that's because we haven't seen Nabiyev in a long time. So I kind of forgot, and I was like, oh snap! Like, yeah, I forgot he does train with those guys.
Man, and he's a madman. Back in his amateur days, he said in the interview we did, he was doing like 12 fights a weekend sometimes. Like this guy is just fighting. He was fighting like 5 times every year. Him taking time off is maybe that was bad for him, that he screwed up his momentum or something. Anyway, if you've been listening for more than 10 minutes, make sure to check out the Fighters First shop. Been living in this sweater. Make sure to check out the Beyond Kick merch, and there's also some Brandon Cuttino signature clothing, right?
Yes. We actually just dropped a new shirt of mine this past week. So hey guys, check it out. You know, it's like my white one that I have for my debut fight. Now this one's black. So, you know, if you like your color change.
Oh, it's awesome stuff. Links will be down below. Glory 82 also had lots of other good stuff. Joleton Lutenbach got a second round KO. Chad Apika was able to get, Siad Apika, my glasses aren't on. Siad Apika got a split decision win. Jafar Wilness got a unanimous decision win. Serkan Ozkaglayan, everyone's breathing a sigh of relief. He's back in the win column against another top contender, holds his spot in the top 3. What else did you see on Glory Collision that you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Glory 82.
It's all right, man. It's all right, man. You know, you're hyped up on the Overeem, you know, news over here. But now, man, Glory 82 to me delivered, man. Like I had put out on Saturday, you know, it delivered. It had knockouts, and it had back and forth fights. Like I said, that Gershon fight probably could have been fight of the night. Those guys were going back and forth. You know, they both had a knockdown each. You know, so I mean that was a good fight as well. Then, like I said, you know, Serkan coming back, which was shocking to me because I think I completely forgot that. I'm surprised he wasn't training at Mike's gym from the beginning. You know, since his cousin is Gohan Saki, like you thought he'd been training with his cousin. But
he said he only did cardio at that gym, which is just like, dude, you know, it's not a cardio gym, it's a kickboxing gym. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, so I mean, hey, you know, it I guess it paid dividends for him to be back. Or should I say to be at Mike's gym. I mean, Mike's gym had a good night, you know, same with Plazibat and with him as well, you know, getting the W. And that's really, I mean, of course, like, I mean, the prelims, man, with the guys from Germany. I mean, to me, man, Germany, I mean, the show was in Germany. The German fighters showed out. They got, you know, they all got W's. But yeah, man, it was just good. And then, of course, you know, I mean, to me, I sometimes I watch the broadcast like now for the fights, but also to find out what's coming up. And I'm glad that they announced, you know, of course they have Glory Rivals 4 happening in Japan, but then they already announced their next show for 2023, which is going to be February 11th. So Glory 83, we already know, and I believe it's going to be back in Germany as well. So it seems like Germany is now their new hotbed, you know, for them doing fights. I mean, I would love it if they would go back to France again, like how they used to. Or maybe, you know, finally go back to England and come back to the States. But hey, you know, we're still early in 2023 over here.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. They're definitely making a strong push in Germany. I think it's going to be a tough one, in all honesty. Like one of the guys who covers, who was part of the UFC Germany. He was like a manager of the UFC Germany, and he was a German person. And I asked him, "Can combat sports ever make it in Germany?" And he works for the UFC. And he said, "No." people just like football here. This is not going to be anything else. And I asked about France, and they said, yeah, people in France like combat sports. They get it. They'll get it immediately. Like you said, like it's an easier push there. But yeah, so good luck in Germany, guys. You're going to need it. Tons of talented fighters, though. Let's move forward because we had so much. So much going on. One on Prime Video 4. Rodtang Jitmuangnon defended his title against the strawweight Muay Thai champion Joseph Lasiri. Just bossed him around, sized on him, strength on him. Rodtang was frustrated that he never could knock him out because Joseph, I think, was sprinting away at some point. And I like Joseph. He's a bud of mine, all that stuff. But what did you see in this matchup?
Yeah, man, it's exactly what you said, man, about Rodtang bossing around. Like I said, man, this was the Rodtang show. Rodtang just walked him down, was daring him to hit him. Like I said, man, I mean, Rodtang trusts his chin, believes in his chin, so he knows, hey, man, dudes can't hurt me, dudes can't knock me out, and he's just gonna walk you down, and you're gonna stand in front of him. He's gonna catch you, and that's what he was trying to do to Lasiri, but Lasiri was smart. You know, he wasn't trying to just stand there and try to stand and bang. You know, he was moving around, and that's what Rodtang had to chase him down. But like I said, man, it was the Rodtang show, bossed him. You know, he basically big brothered him, and, you know, you want to say that, and that was it, man. He was letting him know, yo, this is my division. Muay Thai is my world. You can stay over in kickboxing. Don't come over here, and that was it.
Yeah, well, Lasiri, he used to fight in this weight class, and this is him. But he was way too small, and he got like bossed by Haggerty. Went down to strawweight and had a ton of success there. Picked up the championship. Now he's back up to flyweight, trying for this one. Came in underweight, like he's just so small. And you can see moments of his game really coming out. Like you said, tons of movement. He even was landing some right straights on him. He was landing kicks on him every now and again. But like if you land a right straight on a guy's chin and he doesn't stop coming forward, it's going to be a tough fight. You know, you literally can't stop him with your power. I think my favorite point of this fight was when Joseph Lasiri did a flying knee, and Rodtang just like picked him up out of the air like a boss in Elden Ring, just like grab it. No, you're back on the ground. Sorry, that's not where you're supposed to be. We'll fight on the ground. But yeah, Rodtang just a great win for him. Beat another champion here. The thing is, Joseph Lasiri, and I will say, no shame. You're not fighting another good Muay Thai fighter. Rodtang is one of those guys that we'll remember forever. He's maybe top 15 among the greats of Muay Thai. You're not losing to just another good Muay Thai fighter. Yeah. Losing to Rodtang, no shame in it at all. Rodtang is a boss. Who did better in the Muay Thai fight? Who did better against Rodtang? The Muay Thai champion Joseph Lasiri or Demetrius Johnson? Who did better?
I guess you probably said Demetrius Johnson because Demetrius Johnson kind of did stand there, you know, and try to trade a little bit.
Yeah, he actually landed a good overhand where it caught Rodtang a couple of times. But yeah, Joseph Lasiri just couldn't get his game going. Just not enough strength in his weight class. We all knew from the get-go. Cosmo Alexander got a knockout and then retired. Cosmo, he was on the shelf for 2 years, came back, and then called it. That's too bad. I would have liked to see more of him, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all would have, but hey, man, you know, when you know your time is done, you know your time is done. Maybe like I said, I know he was, I think, battling injuries, you know, so that's probably why, you know, he could have been on the shelf for a while. So he just want to get this W, which he did, and now he can go out and be happy.
Oh, good for him. Always good to see. What else did we have on this one? Eddie Abasolo dropped a close fight. He said he was having some trouble kind of finding his rhythm, it's a big thing, flying over to Singapore, fighting under the big lights. Loses to British striker Liam Nolan. Don't have a ton of analysis for that one. Any thoughts from yourself?
And I mean, hey man, Abasolo went over there, tried to do his thing, but like he said, it just wasn't his night, and sometimes that happens. Yep,
absolutely. Yeah, that happens. He'll be back. He is determined. And then we had the next day, the 1163 headline.
Oh wait, what about you can't forget about Haggerty? Moving up. Oh yes.
Every time this happens every show where you're like, don't forget Haggerty. I don't know why I keep forgetting Haggerty. He went up in weight, really close fight. This is his first fight in the bantamweight Muay Thai division after missing weight at flyweight a couple of times. But yeah, Haggerty went up
here. The dude was too big.
And I know he went up in weight, still struggled. He fought the Russian Vladimir Kuzmin. It was a very close fight. I think this was a majority decision, so we had one draw. Really, really close fight. What do you think of Haggerty's future at bantamweight. He didn't call it the champion. He said, I want to fight number 2 and number 3, but not the champion yet.
Yeah, well, because I think he still wants to probably get used to this weight, weight class, fighting with this weight being heavier, So I think that's smart. You want to get used to the weight, so so maybe have another fight, and then that's when you can call for the champion. But and I'm sure too, probably on a fight like this where it was close, he maybe knew that, hey, it's not smart to call out the champion. Let me maybe get a more better win, a more eye-popping W, and then say, okay, I'm ready for you, champion. Because if it's a close fight, you call for the champion, people aren't gonna feel it, because you're gonna be like, oh, you kind of struggled here a little bit.
Well, that's exactly right. Of like, you struggled against Vladimir Kuzmin. No shame there. He's very talented. He's a good fighter, very confident as well. But then you look at the top 5 at bantamweight Muay Thai. We're talking about Sempech, the champion Nongo, of course, Aliverdi, Ramazanov, and Rodlek. Like, dude, that's a stacked top 4 there. Like, who are you picking there? Like, Hegarty needs to pick it up. Honestly, it's a really tough weight class. I know it's like the right size for him and everything like that, but yeah, like you said, you gotta pick it up here a little bit. But however, he did get the W. Officially, he moves up the rankings. He now has a win at bantamweight Muay Thai, and we'll see what the future holds for him.
Yep.
163. This was a banger. Neither of us saw this one, but Hiroki Akimoto had maybe one of the greatest fights in kickboxing history earlier this year when he captured the title from Capitan. Capitan kept doing this one thing where he would grab the head and knee him. And it was a kickboxing fight, so you can't do that. But defensively, he kept grabbing him and kneeing him. Petchtanong saw that and took that and just replicated it for success over this whole fight and just didn't grab him, just kneed him in the body. Petchtanong is a southpaw fighter, and he kept using the open side kicks and especially knee to the ribs to dominate this fight. And at no point did it seem really cool. It was a weird split decision, which I don't quite get. But Petchtanong, at 37 years old, over 400 fights, earns a kickboxing world title against Hiroki Akimoto? Come on, that was amazing storyline. What do you think of this fight?
Yeah, so again, we all know, like I said, I got this one wrong. I had Hiroki. I think we both did. I thought others run away with this one. But Petchtanong, he had something else to say about it. And what he did was, to me, which I thought was nice, was he used that knee. He would hit it, and then he would switch it up and make it a round kick. Or like I said, he was going to the body, boom, he would throw that knee to the head. He would throw the round kick to the head. This way, Hiroki didn't know if it was going to the body or if it was going to the head, if it was going to be a knee kick or if it was going to be a round kick. So he was kind of out off guard. He really didn't know, and that's just what happened. Like, I wish like Nabiyev was doing this against Semeleer with those knees, but he wasn't doing them as much as Petchtanong was doing them. So, I mean, kudos to him, man. Like I said, man, he went out there. Like I said, I told you. I know I said this before in the fight. Like I said, I know the guy has the experience. I know that there would be things that like nothing would surprise him. But man, he came up with a plan and he executed to the T, and it was beautiful.
It really was, and he just looked tactically perfect of like timing the knees. He knew Hiroki Akimoto was going to come out aggressive, throwing combinations. So he just waited. He let Akimoto throw the combinations. He was checking the massive kicks that were coming around. And it's like Hiroki Akimoto showed up with 25 tools to this fight. And then a kick would come around and to get checked. Okay, now I'm only at 24 tools. By the 5th round, Hiroki Akimoto was just throwing the same combinations because so much of his best work was getting stopped continuously. Petchtanong just like, this was an incredible masterclass at shutting down your opponent defensively. A lot of his best work wasn't even on offense. It was a defensive masterclass. But yeah, he did very well landing the knees, that sort of stuff. He also, one thing I really like about him, and it comes from veteranship. When you have over 400 fights, sell stuff so well. Those kicks hurt. Right, Cal. He's getting kicked in the body. He's getting punched in the head, and he smiles every time. Oh, you're so good at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, 37 years old. He said I could have retired years ago. I'm just having fun right now. Oh, you're living the best life. Good for him, eh?
Yeah, like I said, dude. I mean, to go out there, main event, get a belt. I mean, dude, it was awesome. Like I said, man, it was a masterclass of martial arts right there, man. Saying those knees are beautiful. Like I said, he turned them into round kicks, and also too, man, he kept his range. Like saying, like you gotta have good timing with that too, especially with knees and round kicks. You gotta know your distance too as well for all that. And I mean, saying he was on point. Like to me, he didn't miss.
Yeah, it was just like you said. It was a victory on details of like this is how you step off the center line, just like stuff like that where you can look good against the bag all day long, but this is how you really separate good to great. Is doing these tiny little things like this that Petchtanong has done. Unreal, just amazing stuff. Roman Curricula, this is the heavyweight Grand Prix final. Roman Curricula, the light heavyweight champion in one championship, gets dropped and gets beat up in the trilogy fight against Iraj Azapur from Iran. There's a lot of good storylines going on in this fight. He gets dropped. He's getting beat up. He's getting dominated. Overhand rights are swinging at him. He's not even staying on his feet. First round, he's on the ground. Second round, he comes back and wins via knockout, lands a knee, lands a straight, and Azapur can never recover. Roman Curricula walks away with the one heavyweight Grand Prix world title and a $50,000 performance bonus to boot. What do you think of this one? This is a banger. This is an exciting one.
I mean, dude, Azapur came out the first round, was like, yo, I don't care who you are, I'm putting you out. And that's what he was going, like, he didn't buy into the hype or anything. No. He just went in there, tried to do his business, but then, hey, man, he got him good in the first round, but then the second round came around, and then it was a different story. Then he got put down, and the thing that was just so great to me is, like, because I'm looking at this ref, so, like, the first knockdown, the dude's basically, like, Curricula is, like, right there ready to go, and at first, like, it seemed like the ref was like, okay, wait, back up, but Curricula's like, nah, dude, get out the way. I got some business to finish. And like he just going to work. And the ref was kind of like, oh, should I step in? Should I not? And then once the guy went down, he was like, okay, I'm stepping in now. But it was just like, dude, like, it's like, yo, tell the guy to back up, give the guy some time to breathe, and then let them fight. But it was like, no, Curricula's like, no, we're starting this fight up right now as I'm just in his face.
I know, and I think it's actually worth commenting on as well, is that in the past, Curricula has done that where he like almost pushes the referee out of the way to finish his opponent off. This one, he didn't even wait for the referee to clear. Like he punched over the referee's shoulder to land the punch, while his opponent, Iraj Azapur, is still against the cage. Like there was no reset to center. There was no reset to the corner. He's already taken the entire circle at that point. Also, while we're talking about reffing, did he not grab the head and land a knee? It's like, and I was thinking, like, it's so clean. Was that not a two-handed grab to knee, which is illegal in one's kickboxing rules? Am I not, like, maybe I'm wrong of just like you're allowed one and then you have to release, and maybe that's what happened, or you're completely not allowed to. I'm not really sure, but there was some stuff where I'm like, wait, it's like, man, Roman Curricula, good for you. I'm glad you won the fight. You seem like an awesome guy. We get showered in gold and money just like you deserve. But there was some questioning ref stuff going on here, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, like he didn't want to me take charge. It was like, dude, like, I would have pushed them back, but like, yo, like we ain't going until you back up, you know. But like I said, he just got muscled out, and Curricula's like, nah, man, we this fight's about to be over.
And this goes back to like we used to see in the early 2000s boxing, where like a lot of guys would walk halfway out to really like, this is my ring. And the referee, and I forget the referee's name, and I wish I could remember, but he'd stop the fight and push him back, like before the fights even start, just as a way of saying, like, you are not in charge in this ring. I'm the referee. I'm in charge. Roman Curricula was in charge of all three men in the circle that night, no doubt about it. That ref couldn't. Anyway, good man. Anyway, good for Roman Curricula. It was a really good highlight, and he just keeps climbing. He's got a heavyweight Grand Prix title. He's got a light heavyweight Grand Prix title. Super talented guy, super dangerous. No quitting him at all. Just he's one of those guys that you don't want to fight. He's very talented.
Yeah, hopefully, one will be able to give him some challenges, because according to the people, they don't really have that many people for him. But we'll see.
Yeah, he's definitely lapping the people in one championship at this point. But yeah, we'll see what happens with their light heavyweight and heavyweight divisions, because it's just people running into Curricula at this point. Like that's pretty much it. Was there anything else at 1163 that I'm not seeing that I'm missing here, or is that?
I mean, there was their heavyweight fight between was it Ahmed versus Bruno Chavez. I mean, that was basically your typical heavyweight fight. Like I said, the heavyweight fight happens either happens one or two ways. One, it's a boring fight, or two, somebody's getting knocked out. Yeah. In the co-main event, we had a knockout. In this heavyweight fight, it was the boring one. It went all 3 rounds. But I mean, I will say though, Ahmed Krinik, man, looked good, man. To me, man, he controlled that fight. Another southpaw. Lefty, so watch out for that. Like say, he could be somebody who could be challenging for the belt soon. Like say, they kind of have slim pickings there. So I mean, he could definitely be somebody to watch out for. Like I said, he did look good, but I mean, just kind of was a fight, you know. It was just like, all right, you know, like kind of like just how we saw in Glory with the Jafar Wellness fight. I mean, still good fights, good. Should I say not good fights? Well, good performances. So like, you know, each fight in that heavyweight fight had a good performance. The other one just kind of didn't bring anything really, you know, to the dance. And then also too, there was another. I think it was a catchweight Muay Thai fight. What the freak is it? Why can't I find it? Oh, I think it was Ashi Shingawa versus I think it was Montella.
Good highlight here. Yeah.
Like that was a good fight, action packed. You know, it went back and forth. So yeah, man, that was a good one to watch as well.
Oh yeah, but I would definitely say one on Prime Video 4 and 1163. The kickboxing, I think, stole the show. The kickboxing and Muay Thai was the show, and I'm proud of. I'm happy about that a lot. Let's move forward. Enfusion 116. Sorel De Jong gets the victory, just as we expected. Jarina Bars gets the victory. I would say just as we expected. Brandon Cuttino, what are your thoughts? What do you see in this one?
So with De Jong, I mean, she came out, she looked good, like saying she liked this fight. I mean, her opponent, Morrow, just want to make sure because I know on the broadcast Big Mo was calling her Mario, and I'm like, no, I think it's just Mario. So I want to make sure I say it correct as well. But I mean, yo, like De Jong said, these are the fights that she likes because Morrow brought it. Like Morrow didn't fight scared. She was in there mixing it up because I want to say I think De Jong's last fight in Enfusion kind of was where there really was like her opponent didn't really do anything. Like she kind of just walked through her. While here, like I mean, still De Jong kind of did her thing, but it was a fight, you know, and she liked it and she was happy about it. Saying, man, she did her thing, man. Yo, homegirl is just here to fight. She's trying to stay busy. Like say she's already fighting next month already against what was it, Kendall Rand? I want to say I could be wrong on the first name, but I know it's Rand. I know Rand is the last name. She's out of England. You know, big time Muay Thai fighter and everything like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But really, to me, man, besides the fight, what really caught me was after the fight. Told you, man, fighters, they know what's up when they get on the mic. And she did a nice call out. And who did she call out? Tiffany Van Soos. She said, I would love to see Tiffany Van Soos in the ring. And I'm like, hey, man, like Tiffany Van Soos was calling out,
Ms. Dynamite.
Exactly, Ms. Dynamite, Denise Keholtz, which of course I just found out that Denise Keholtz just got an MMA fight announced. So I mean, hey, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But Glory and Enfusion, they work together, so that could be that could be a Glory Rivals headliner right there, you know. Yep. So I'm definitely down to see that. And like I say, you know, we're trying to see Tiffany Van Soos get some names, get some girls. I would definitely be down to watch that fight.
Oh, co-sign with that. Get Tiffany Van Soos some hard challengers. Just like someone who's really going to push her. Her last opponent did well against her, but couldn't cut the corners, couldn't actually corner her or anything like that. Someone with much faster footwork could potentially have some real success here. And then Jarina Bars gets a masterclass, from my understanding. It was not a close fight. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, man. Dude, Jarina Bars, I told you, man. Like to me, she is the number one female kickboxer. Like I said, I know a lot of people who kind of like to give it to Anissa Meskin, which I have no problem with. Like, Anissa Meskin, man, she has over 100 wins. I get it, but to me, man, Jarina Bars is just the one. Like I said, and she went out there, did her thing. You know, she actually was using her boxing a lot. You know, like I said, you know, she did have a boxing match, I think back in October. So I mean, she definitely was using her hands. I kind of feel bad because, again, like we talked about, you know, Jarina Bars, again, I think the reason why she doesn't get the love is because she doesn't have the women in her division, doesn't have the names. Like I want to say her opponent basically came from Muay Thai. And I want to say like this was her first time doing a kickboxing fight, you know, which I know Vinny Showman was kind of saying, hey, you know, they like, because I think he was trying to say that the Swedish girl should have been kind of doing what Iman Barlow likes to do, which of course Iman Barlow, Muay Thai person as well, but she would fight in Enfusion. She would just basically clinch people and still throw knees and then like let them go. But you know, so which is kind of what happened was when they would clinch up, her opponent kind of did have the better control, you know, hitting her knees, moving Jarina Bars, but she just didn't do it enough. She kind of stayed and tried to kickbox, with the kickboxer instead of trying to using her clinch game, because again, in Enfusion you can still clinch, but it's only for 5 seconds. Hey man, use those 5 seconds, move around, throw some kicks, throw some punches, clinch again, throw some knees, and then get out. But
5 seconds is a long time. You can work a lot in that time.
Exactly, but hey man, and to me too, I felt like this ref was kind of letting them go a little bit longer in the clinch as well. Anyway, but again, man, Dorina Bars to me, man, did her thing. Was her 10th title defense? I really want to say, because I know they call her 10-time champion, but it's like she never lost the belt, So, but yeah, man, dude, just I always look forward to seeing her fight, and let's see what the Enfusion can bring to her.
Yeah, I co-sign with that. It was. I agree with you, and I'm glad it was two females who really ran away with the headlines from this event, because it was a ton of fun, and those are two very good fighters. We frame Enfusion as like being a builder league, and it's not. It's definitely not. These are two of the greatest females currently competing in kickboxing. Both of them were fighting at Enfusion 116. Anything else from that event that we need to cover off?
I just want to go over. It was just in the fight. Well, actually, two. The fight by Dorina Bars. Lightweight title, me, I always got my eye on the lightweight division, since that's my division. The Samurai Lorenzo Guric, I think this is how you say it. He looked good, did his thing. You say, man, he's somebody that left it to me to look out for. And then on the talents portion, the other female fight, I guess it was the open weight world title. Man, I'm definitely gonna butcher her first name, so I'm gonna try her last name. Was it Maher, I want to say. I hope that's how you say it.
Yeah, sure.
She won, and the crazy thing is too, she's actually fighting next month as well, December 16th. So I mean, they're trying to keep these people busy, and that card, December 16th in Abu Dhabi. I mean, I can't wait. Like, we're probably gonna break it down. I think our next show, because that'll fall in the 2-week window. But yeah, man, that card's gonna be a banger.
Which one's this? Which one? Sorry, I missed that. What was this one?
That's the what was this? Enfusion 116. So that means it's going to be 117, because that's the show in December 16th in Abu Dhabi.
We got some fun stuff coming up in the next little while here, but yeah, definitely Enfusion 116. Let me check out Enfusion 117 here. I didn't have it up in front of me. Enfusion 117.
Yeah, man, you're gonna like it.
Fusion 117 and Talents 99. We got Andre Bruhl, Elias Zugardi. You got Nabil and Mario. Clyde is back. Faith Uli. Yeah, some good fight. Muhammad. Oh, I remember Muhammad. I can't say his last name. Daryl Ansley is back for Oda. Yeah, this is great. Muhammad Tashasi is back.
Yep.
Muhammad Tashasi.
Simsak's gonna be on that card. They got a lightweight tournament going on.
Sorel De Jong, just like you said, these people are back like every 2 weeks. I think Wolves Fury is his nickname. I think he just fought like 2 weeks ago as well. Just nonstop action from these guys. Fighting every 2 weeks. I think it's great. This one's coming up. This is the 16th of December. I'll run off some events that we have upcoming in the next little while here. There is a Crush 143 that's going to be on November 26th, and then One Championship is giving us some stuff on December. I want to say December. If you're in ET, it's December 2nd and December 3rd, because we have Super Bond versus Chingiz Alazov. You also have Alicia Helen Rodriguez is finally back to defend her one Muay Thai title against Janet Todd. Also, Amber Kitchen is going to be fighting Jackie Bunton. Yep. That's some good stuff there. And then the next day, this is 164. We have Superlek, Kietmu 9, and Panpiak as the Muay Thai Flyweight Grand Prix final. So yeah, there's some good stuff going on. There's some, and I'm not even mentioning a bunch of there's some K1 coming up. There's some other stuff going on in the next couple of weeks here. So there's going to be some absolute banger fights coming up in the next little while here. When are we back? What do you want to do here?
Well, so again, fans, I just want you to know, we did this show as a special, like how we did after Glory Collision. Like I said, we weren't supposed to come back till next week, but I figured with everything that happened this weekend, saying all the One Championship fights, the Glory fights, the Alistair Overeem news, and Enfusion, I just figured that you guys deserve to hear us break it down, for us to talk about instead of us waiting another week. So our normal schedule is we should be back next week as well, and that way we can break down the Super Bond Alazar fight, because that's December 2nd to be exact, right? Yeah, exactly. So basically, yeah. So next week we can break down that fight, go into our picks, and then go on to whatever else is next after that.
Sorry. So you said the 28th, was it, or the 5th?
Yeah. Yep. The 28th. Yep. So next week.
Back on regular schedule. Perfect. Yep. We'll break some stuff down then. Folks, make sure to check out the links down below. All that stuff. Store links. Support us. Support the show. Support kickboxing. Brandon, talk us on out of here. You get the last word, sir.
Yeah. So again, fans, like I said, we did this. We did this as a special for you guys. Hey, let us know if you really want us. If you like our normal schedule of every 2 weeks, or if you think that we should maybe be trying to do it every week. Let us know. Me and Tim, we've been talking about it. Like I said, so much kickboxing is going on. We want to know what your thirst level is. You know, if you're dehydrated and you need to be hydrated by us, you know, with our kickboxing talk, let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share the video, tell all your friends. Yep. And yeah, man. Again, let's just keep growing. Like I say, we got a lot of kickboxing coming up soon.
Absolutely, Brandon. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
All right.